a little chopping. We'll look at the edge before. Edge fine. No problemo. No rolling. Hello and welcome to my channel. What we have here is a Renegade Bowie Ridge Runner. Quality knives and tools. The Renegade Bowie is a gargantuan fixed blade that is unbeatably tough. It features a whopping 9 3/4 inch stainless steel full tang blade. The handsome peckerwood handle also has silver pins that not only secure the handle blade but also accent the handle. The pommel and guard are also stainless steel. A nylon sheath with a belt loop houses the mighty blade. And the Bowie is an impressive 15.5 inches overall. Bowie, you know what we're talking about. No matter what you call it, it's one big blade. Now, you may be wondering, like I was, what the Rockwell hardness on this one is. 50. This one tests out at 50, which is pretty good. Between like 50 and 55, but 50 is pretty good on it. I did a chop test with it, you know, on the log. And where is it? That's right here. Is it there? I don't know anymore. It's going away. I think it's these guys right here. Went in pretty deep. I didn't chunk it out, you know, like that. I just did a few hits on it. I was mainly just gonna check the edge of the blade after I did that, and I was hitting up here. You can see the wood, and there's no rolling or chipping of any kind. You could use a little sharpening. That's fairly sharp. It's fairly sharp for a Bowie knife. It has a hollow grind to it. Now, the only thing that's kind of is the sheath. I mean, the sheath, yeah, you're not, this knife is another one of those $20 Bowie knives, so I'd rather spend money on the knife than the sheath. But yeah, this one, it could use another rivet down here. It's not super, it works. I mean, it's functional. It's a functional sheath, you know. It holds the blade and might protect you from cutting yourself. I'd like, you know, if you're only going to go with nylon, I'd like another rivet here, you know, and another one here. And the backside's not sharpened, but yeah, that's all I'm saying. If you're going to save money, you know, give me a cheesy sheath and I'll be happy. Now, the only thing I have, as far as like on fit and finish with it, is it's not so much, it's a little bit on this side, which I'm going to finish. See that? Now that I can sand these things down, I notice stuff like this. And it's up here too. Just a little, hear that? If you sand this down, it makes a big difference in the feel in your hand. You won't feel any, I'm gonna call them hot spots, but you feel the metal, you know. But man, we got a nice blade on this one. They say it's 9 3/4 or something. So let's check their facts right now. Yeah, it's almost 10 inches, but there's a cutting blade. Something fell down. We got at least 9 3/8 cutting edge, so they weren't lying about that. Stainless steel brass guard. One or two of these pins are a little. See, it's kind of crazy to get super detailed on a $20 knife, but you know, as far as like manufacturing, a little chunk of wood came out of there when they did that. And this is a little bit, you know, raised. But I mean, but like I said, what you're gonna get is a full tang knife. Pretty decent design. This little hawk bill type thing right here helps hold it in your hand. Plenty of room for you to choke up or hold it regularly. You got a nice choil here. It's fairly well balanced. It's balanced right there at the right, a little forward of the hilt, which is pretty good for balance. Light. For the, a knife this size, you would think it would be a lot heavier, but it's only like a pound. I'll put the weights in there. A nice fuller on each side. It could have been a little bit wider, but this isn't too bad. I mean, you know, this big of a blade, you could have put a little wider fuller in there, but that one's all right. And, yeah, I have no complaints with this knife. None whatsoever. I really like it. Like I said, I'm just going to sand this down here and sand this down here. The handle is what they call engineered, but it's pack-a-wood. In one of the descriptions, this handle is engineered. Like, all right. Material engineered. And then you got the number here, RR. No, that's not Rough Rider. 681. Stainless steel, handcrafted in China. The steel is a 440 series. I don't know if it's A, B, or C, but it's one of those. It's a 440 or 400 type series steel, maybe 420. From what I can tell, they don't list a lot on there. But it was heat treated, from what I can tell from the files, from the Hardness files. I tested it right up here because I figure if you're going to heat treat just the edge or whatever, if you're going to do differential treatment, it's going to be down here by the tang also. And that's where I've tested all the other ones. So at 40 slides, 45 slides, it's starting to catch. 50. This is probably between 50 and 55, actually. Yeah, it's starting to catch at 55. Now, I watched a review Donnie B All Day did of this, and in one of the comments, one of the guys asked, not of this knife, it was the Sesco Outlaw. I mean, the Sesco Bowie. They call it Cisco, but I call them Sesco because of the Z. But one guy asked what the heat treatment was on the Sesco, and Donnie B hadn't answered, and it was like a year or so ago or something. And so I told him, well, on mine, it Rockwell's out at 40 or 45. I told him around there. Anyways, you left a reply saying, "Are you sure?" Well, no, I made that shit up, you know. I just did that just to fuck with you, you know. God. Anyways, I didn't get all offended, but I told him that's the way mine did. Maybe yours was heat treated. All I'm saying is this is what I get. I'm not saying all Sescos or all of these knives are going to be perfect. I mean, I've got a sample size of 1, you know? So, I mean, what can you tell from that? Well, you can only tell what yours is doing. You can't imply that all of them are going to be that way. You have to test more and more of them, you know? I mean, quite a few. And this is just a range test, you know? It's not a 100% accurate. Yes, this file is Rockwell hardened to 40, you know, and this one is to 45. And if the file is harder than the material, it'll dig in. I mean, it'll grab. I don't make this stuff up, you know. But anyways, that's what this one is. 50 to 55. And that's a pretty good range, I think. You're going to get some edge holding ability. If you start getting way up there on the steel, depending on the steel, it's going to be more brittle. It's just like water is soft. But if you freeze it, it gets hard. But also, what happens when it gets hard? Well, it's brittle. I mean, it'll break. Now, steel's kind of like that. It's not exactly like water. Just an analogy. But anyways, there you go. That's my little initial evaluation of this knife. I like it. I like it a lot. For its size, you think it would be heavier. The only one that really fits what it looks like it would be is the Outlaw. You know, if you look at a big blade like that, you would think, man, that thing's huge and heavy. The Outlaw is pretty big, and it makes it, like I said, good for chopping. This one would be good for an all-around type of thing, you know. I mean, you got a lot of metal there and a lot of reach, and you can extend your reach by dropping your hand back here if you really needed to reach out and poke something. But there you go. That's my review. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.